is like a goddamn ridiculous question. Imagine you open your exam paper and then the first thing you see is why do lungs look like trees?
Hello everyone and welcome back to the Refresh Step where you recover yourself for the main step. I'm your host for today, tomorrow and a foreseeable future, Theodore Lu. And I'm with Auto Speller in the UK and admin for Auto Spirits English Wiki, Ayumu Seiki.
Hello.
Hi Ayumu, how are you doing today? As you can see, I'm clearly struggling.
I'm also kind of on the edge.
Mm-mm.
I'm not trying to sleep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Been having a sore throat lately. It was
Oh
not
no.
happy. Was not a happy time. And yeah. And there is this one odyssey that I've been doing lately. Because
Mm-hmm.
you know Fisherman's Friends. Fisherman's Friend. The that white candy that they claim they don't have any sugar inside. But yeah, it's usually it's mint. Okay,
Okay.
it has a non sugar sweetener. Oh, I need to stop eating this. This is not good. But yeah, the point is because of the influence of my dad who got me into this candy, he actually first started eating this candy mainly kind of to offset when he wanted to stop smoking. So he took like the strongest one, the mint one, and of course eating them as a kid, that was, yeah, I don't understand this. Why is this? Why are you like munching this spicy rock? Granted, I really like spicy food, but it is different kind of spicy. It's kind of like just eating a whole bottle of mustard whole. God damn it. But yeah. But anyway, usually I don't really look at, because like they have like certain flavors, right? Like now the one that I'm eating currently is the raspberry flavor, and there are lemon and such. But usually I just go to, they're like mint flavors, like the mint, spearmint, eucalyptus, the strong one, the one that the one that basically send razors down your throat so that you can feel like your throat is like, you feel like you're scratching your throat basically, in a way.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, the other day, like one of my friend, basically he was like giving a candy to my other friend, and then I was like, and then of course, like because I was there, he was like, "Yep, do you want one as well?" And then like it was like, "Oh, this packaging looks familiar." Then this is why do I have never seen this before? The packaging was red, and I noticed the taste was cola flavor. Wow, that was actually pretty nice though. That kind of, I mean, of course, it doesn't have any carbonation, but if you want just the taste of cola for some reason, it's pretty nice.
Okay.
And then I've been on an odyssey to find this cola flavored Fisherman Friends, but I went to like 4 different supermarkets so far, and I still haven't found one. Yeah, it's hard.
Oof.
So like trying to find BSS at the first day of BSS 01 in Germany. Hard. Well, now it's even harder, but yeah. It is what it is. I mean, like surprisingly, like one of the store that doesn't plan to carry BSS, I think, like because of the have a collaboration, just by the virtue of the store kind of like stocking some washwear stuff. They also have
Mm-hmm.
like BSS stuff, but only the Ava stuff. Only the Eva
What?
booster pack. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. You know, right? I think like some. Yeah, I mean like it's one store so far, but yeah, I mean like even the store where I played like last time, the store regional last time, when we asked them like, yeah, what set do you still have? And then they were like, yep, mostly we have the Eva stuff. Oh, I see. That's yeah. I mean like it's a little bit harder to see what is popular in Europe, right? It's like it's not like you kind of have to go to like anime convention to kind of see like, oh yeah, this series is still popular. This series is probably more prevalent. And of course, the most prevalent one will be like the Hoyoverse games, like whatever is the most in. So now probably it's going to be Zenless Zone Zero. Like the last time I went to Dokomi, it's of course Genshin. Then the ones that I skip is probably going to have like Star Rail. That's why not. But yeah, in Asia, it kind of like you can kind of see like based on what brands are doing collaborations, because like the collaborations range in Japan is usually really wide. You can go to like the supermarket and find like like a washing detergent collaborating with Evangelion. You can kind of see like, oh, because Eva still have like some level of marketing value to most customers, they are like adding the collaboration for this washing detergent. Kind of. I'm just looking too deep into it. They probably just have money and someone just mentioned, yeah, why don't we collaborate with Eva?
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, admittedly, the raspberry one is also nice. Feels like a raspberry. Feels like the raspberry flavored Fanta, if they even have one. I feel like the last time I don't really enjoy soda, but I ended up missing it as like the Indonesia used to have like the strawberry Fanta. Like for the longest time, for I don't know why.
We have strawberry Fanta?
Yeah.
Interesting. We
Yeah.
have a grape Fanta in Hong Kong.
Yeah. Which is also nice. Okay, so I think the one that we have for a short period of time is uh melon. I think nowadays they already know like, yeah, people in Hong Kong like grape Fanta, people in this country like this flavor of Fanta, and then they just kind of like mix and match and redistribute it everywhere, right? But like back then I think it's really polarized. Like for Fanta, for the longest time, for like I think like for 3 years or 5 years of my life, I think like between like the later years of my elementary school up to my high school, like they only have like strawberry Fanta. They don't have like the orange Fanta just disappeared. Whenever I go to Singapore and then I saw like the orange Fanta, I was like, yep, orange Fanta, orange Fanta, orange Fanta. I was like going to McDonald's, orange Fanta. But yeah, I'm actually down to try the grape Fanta as well. That sounds interesting.
Yeah, actually grape Fanta is like
Mm-mm.
like my preferred one, but
Mm-mm.
like I just like even in Hong Kong for some reason it was pretty rare.
Mm.
And then and then we have a lot of chance to drink it.
Mm-mm.
So usually I'll go for Libana instead when I
Mm.
want drinks.
Mm-mm.
Actually when I was in Japan, I think I had fruit punch Fanta,
Mm.
which actually exists in the UK now as well.
Mm-mm.
And then also watermelon Fanta.
Mm.
Like that was pretty alright. I still prefer actual watermelon juice, but it is what it is.
I know, right? Sometimes you just want that. I mean, like, I never thought that like the one of the drinks that I would enjoy in Germany is like the apple soda. So it's literally just half apple juice, half soda water. Like Germany just really like to do those kind of stuff. So just half half of fruit juice and half of mineral water, sparkling mineral water, and it actually works. I don't know how. I even do that with wine, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I will probably get you to try them. Like just a small shot. That's this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I can try one shot,
Mm-mm.
I guess.
Yeah, because they're disturbingly cheap as well. Because like I always thought like, yeah, there's nothing that is cheaper than beer, and then like, so if you want to drink like the beer that you actually wouldn't regret drinking, like, because yeah, I
Mhm.
mean, like, if you want to go lower, you can buy the gasoline the gasoline flavored beer for like maybe 30 cents for half liter. And then
30 cents for half a liter.
yes,
That's really cheap.
I know, right? That's why to me they taste like gasoline.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like the alcohol is slightly. I mean, like, it's not strong as in the alcohol is strong, but like the alcohol flavor is way stronger than whatever whatever is supposed to make the beer taste like beer. So it's like it just tasted like pure weak alcohol. This is not it.
Weak alcohol.
I know, right? Like the more proper beer, you probably will pay like maybe 90 cents, like around at least around 1.8 per liter, right? And then I think like the wine, the like this pre-mix wine, pre-mix wine soda, which probably, to be fair, probably uses box wine. It's like thing 1.5 for a liter. It's like, oh, I know this is basically just grape flavored Fanta, but like, what the fuck? It's probably just grape flavored Fanta that has gone a little bit stale, and then like, yep, let's just market it as wine soda. But that's fine. That is drinkable. I think I bought it once because kind of wanted to. Well, sometimes I do online drinking with my friends, right? And then
Hmm.
yeah, and then I think that day I was like talking to Calvin, and then for some reason, uh, the topic of alcohol came up, and then he
Okay.
was saying like how his father loves wine, and then he will probably get a heart attack if he heard about this wine soda sparkling mineral water thingy. So I don't know. I just kind of just for the loss, I just bought the whole bottle just for the loss, basically. Also, I was kind of curious on how bad it could be. Although I don't really drink alcohol, right? I just occasionally drink beer when there's the social occasion for that. But like normally I don't drink alcohol, so I don't drink that much wine. I can't really tell like, oh yeah, this wine is better than this one. I just like at most the wine was like palatable to me, but like not to the point to like, yeah, I will continuously like drink this. That's why like sometimes when I see people like, yeah, ordering their third glass of wine, and I was like, what? Like, what did you enjoy from this? Like, ask the other guy on the table, like, ordered the third beer. Like, this lady just ordered her third uh wine, and then at the end of the meal, she still asked for like a shot of Baileys or a shot of Jägermeister. So it's like, oh,
Oh.
Impressive indeed.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then not to mention that what to say, like it has been another slow week. Well, probably it's the good thing is we can kind of like relax this week. Although there is a kind of like a news that that I think got people's attention a little bit too much, which is the announcement of the new TCG project from Bandai, the new TCG project for Gundam Ayumu. Yay!
I
Question
mean,
mark.
I have sworn to God
Mm-mm.
that I will never touch another Bandai card game.
Yay!
No.
Same. No, just kidding.
Until I break my oath, I guess.
Yeah. We wouldn't play another Bandai card game until we would. But yeah.
Yes, exactly. I mean, to be fair, in the first place, Gundam doesn't really interest me anyway.
Mm.
I like the stories, but like that's it.
Mm.
But I'm not as attached
Mm-mm.
to the Gundams, well, to the mobile suits themselves
Mm-mm.
as much as the other people are.
Mm-mm.
Uh, yeah, like I prefer the characters more than like the mobile suits themselves, which I suppose it's like one of the main points of Gundam. If you don't like the characters, then there is the. I mean, personally, there isn't really a point to watch Gundam. You don't like the characters.
Mm-mm.
I mean, let's be honest. Just machines going pew pew isn't
Mm-mm.
enough to make a good series. Uh,
I beg to digress, but let's not get into
mm.
that. But yeah, I
All
mean,
right.
no, no,
Maybe
I was,
maybe I'm too high class for that. I'm not
oh,
gonna be
oh,
satisfied with
oh,
just pew pew.
okay, let's get down from your ivory tower, Lord Lee.
But yeah, either way, I don't know, man. Like Gundam
Yeah.
TCG, it's the thing is like you don't even know how they're gonna make it.
Mm-mm.
It's like, huh? Okay, it's this kind of thing. So you can't even imagine.
Mm-mm.
But I guess we'll see how it goes. Like, I mean, I suppose at the very least, it might I might play online. If
Mm-mm.
like, cause like people are gonna make a simulator out of it.
Mm-mm.
I'm betting on that. Like they will do that.
Mm-mm.
So like
Yeah.
when that comes out, maybe I'll try it. But like
Yeah.
I don't think it would convince me enough to start buying actual cards.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Like especially if I want to start another card game in real life, I feel like I have much better choices for myself.
Mm-mm.
Grand Archive, uh,
Yeah.
with Cross,
Mm-mm.
uh, etc., etc.
Yeah.
So, or even just gonna wait for the English version of Whole Life TCG. Why not?
Yeah. Because yeah, of course that I will wait for the set 3 of Hololive OCG where it's hopefully finally my Oshi will be included. But yeah, I'm about the Gundam TCG itself. I don't know. I will like if you just if the premise is just okay, so there's a TCG from Gundam. Yeah, I'm just as cold about it as you do. I think like the aspect that I kind of like enjoy the most about Gundam is merchandise wise is probably kit bashing. So like yeah, this kind
What?
of like kit bashing is kind of like a subgenre of like building the models. But you kind of like okay, so maybe you like this kind of models, but this kind of mecha, but you kind of wanted it to like bring like other weapons, or like yeah, I kind of wanted the arms to be bigger, so you just take the arms of a bigger Gundam and then you preferably I haven't reached this stage yet, but like preferably you will then repaint the parts that you take to the color scheme that of the Gundam that you put it on, or to the color scheme that you want. Then at that level, it's already a custom, right? And then you kind of like make your own backstory for it and blah blah. And yeah, so it's kind of like the aspect. Yes, so basically the merchant, I think like the plastic models is the ideal merchandise for Gundam. I think not even in my lifetime, in my whole career, 15 years of playing trading card games, 17 years actually. I played them from like middle school.
You are old.
God damn it, Ayumu. But yeah, I think like the time I spent playing card games already is probably almost as old as Ayumu, gaining his conscience. No, yeah, I can't really argue with that. But yeah, I think like I've already saw like Gundam Cross Wars, and then there is one before that, and then there's the one where it is kind of like a cross between an online game and the real and then a real card game. And then that one I just remember the one that left the most impression on me. I even forgot the name of the game, but like the one that kind of left the most impression on me is that basically if you get like the rare cards in game, they will send the physical cards on to you. Like, so they will send like a letter that has like one single card in it. So it's like, what? I guess they kind of like spend too much money there, and probably that's why they stopped it. It's like, yeah, this is kind of like an oversight, isn't it? Like, yeah, like how many cards will you have to distribute this way? And you have to pay the postage for every single one. God damn it. And then I think like I showed you the other day, right? Like because I did join like the metaverse event at one point, and then because it's open for the Asian, like the non-Japan Asian countries, so I just put in my Indonesian address, and then I only played like 2 matches at that day. So like they only give me like the I think like if you play like 2 matches, they will give you the promo card, which is like the same one that you get when you play in the weekly tournaments. And then if you play more than 3, I think you are put inside a lottery to win the extra promo, which I think at that time was the Kizuna Pashindan. So it's like, oh yeah, why not? Yeah, I mean like why not? But of course I didn't win the lottery, so I just recently like when my dad was like sending stuff that was stuck in my house, like there was one envelope, and then it was like from Bandai Hong Kong, by the way. So they sent that all the way from Hong Kong, like one single promo card that you wouldn't even use in an individually packed plastic, and then like a short letter like, yeah, thank you for participating in this Panda event. Like, I am flattered, but like this sounds like an oversight. Like I don't think there are like that. I mean, like we can see now that there is not much event for the non-Japan side of the things, because I think like people from Hong Kong and Southeast Asia don't really prefer the online event.
Yeah.
But even let's say like I think like us failure in this case is still like, I think there are still like 30 to 60 participants. So it's like, yeah, so they are just doing this for free for 60 different people. It's like, oh, this again, it sounds like an oversight on their part. But I guess that they already did even more for the Japanese side of the game. So yeah, who knows? Maybe they think it's not that much. Yeah, sending a letter all the way halfway across the world from Hong Kong to Indonesia is not an issue for them apparently. But a lot of other things is apparently are issues, like ensuring that we receive the promos for PSS on time. Hmm. Uh,
Ah,
enjoying my tea. Finally. Yes, I am drinking medicinal tea that is supposed to help with your throat and lung problem. Yeah.
lung problems.
Yeah. So it's
Okay.
yeah, that's worse than bronchial is just bronchial is that that smaller organ inside your lungs, right?
Yeah, that's like the branches within your lungs.
Yeah. That those things.
Yeah. Actually, you reminded me of one of the questions we had in biology back
Mm-mm.
in secondary school.
Mm-mm.
It was like a goddamn ridiculous question. Like imagine
Mm-mm.
you open your exam paper
Uh-uh.
and then the first thing you see is why do lungs look like trees?
Uh,
Oh, that became such a joke.
my goodness. Yeah, why do they word it like that though? I think like the answer is somewhere along the line of to basically maximize the surface area where the oxygen can be absorbed or something.
Oh no, it's 1 mark. You can literally just say because they look like branches.
Oh, okay. God damn
That
it.
was literally 1 mark. I'm pretty sure that was what I wrote as well.
Uh, I guess if they accept like physical description, then I guess, yeah.
Oh
My
yeah,
goodness.
that was funny. And then like so like with how exam works, a lot of the times patterns are basically exactly the same as like
Mm-mm.
the few years previously as well.
Mm-mm.
So like you can expect
Mm-mm.
kind of what kinds of questions are coming up. Sometimes like the questions might overlap as well.
Mm-mm.
Like they might be worded differently, but like they're basically asking for the same thing.
Mm-mm.
So like a lot of times, especially with science, it's very easy to just like try to memorize uh some of the answers and
Mm-mm.
then you can basically pass it.
Yeah.
And then one thing we would also do as students is that we would guess
Mm-mm.
what kind of questions are coming up.
Mm-mm.
And then during my year, we were guessing that they will release questions on smoking
Mm-mm.
and then also anything about the heart because we didn't get that for like the previous few years.
Mm-mm.
And then at the end, the only long question that we actually got
Mm-mm.
was that one question at the beginning.
Oh my
Why
goodness.
do lungs look like cheese? And then we got no questions on the heart at all.
Oh my
And then a lot of people were so pissed.
I
And then
know.
uh, and then one of them even said, "Of course they wouldn't do that. This salmon has got no heart." Oh, no, that was a golden line right there.
I know, right? God damn it. That was a perfect time. That was perfect. Ironic comedic timing.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. So like yeah. Like literally every year you can make some jokes out of like the exam papers that like
Mm-mm.
um they make like you would actually have a trend where like after every exam period,
Mm-mm.
like basically after June,
Mm-mm.
you would just get all kinds of memes about the
Mm-mm.
exam paper during that time. Actually, let me see. So, from 2014, 2015, 2000. I think my exam paper was in 2016.
Mm-mm.
I think I did the exam during that time. So I believe I might even be able to look for the memes right now.
Mm-mm. God damn it.
Uh oh yeah, and then like what else was really funny?
Mm-mm.
Think it was yeah, I think it was still yeah, it was still biology.
Mm-mm.
And then we had um we literally have like a longer question
Mm-mm.
that's um so basically it was really funny. They literally just slap picture
Mm-mm.
of a bench, like
Mm-mm.
a bench in the park.
Mm.
and then and literally takes up like half the page.
Mm.
And then and then the question is, there are I'm just paraphrasing, but it was something like, there are fungi growing on this bench.
Mm.
How does that happen, or something like that? Which is which is actually like a normal question. I mean,
Mm.
again, I'm just paraphrasing. It
Yep.
probably would have been more specific as well.
Mm.
But like people were actually saying, okay, so you're basically asking us about how fungi grows.
Mm.
Why do you need the picture of a bench?
Uh,
That was so funny.
I know, right?
Mm.
The most interesting thing that is actually I'm kind of outing my other colleagues at the time. That's like, in Indonesia we still have this archaic system where we have like a nation, like we name it the national exam, which is basically 60% of your 60% that will contribute to, I think, 60% during my year, whether you will graduate high school or not. So this exam is a very big deal. The other 40% is the very same exam but done in by your school instead. So yeah, fuck the government. But yeah, anyway, uh, of course, since this exam is a really big thing, uh, we do like several mock exam for that, right? Especially the ones that are done by our school, and then like some of the teachers were like, yep, instead of to kind of like ask an act of mercy so that you guys don't have to study too much. The result for your
Okay.
next mock exam will be used to as basically your normal like in class exam score basically. And then like this particular mock exam period, they use like a mock exam packages that were sold by a book, like a textbook company. And then like after the first day, like granted, I was like one of the average guy. I was like not really on the lower end, but like there are lots of guys who are like smarter than me, right? But not just
Mm.
smarter, they are more, they are richer than me. So of course, when they have more money, when they have a problem, what is the first thing that will come into their head? It's pay to win. So after they found out that the particular mock exam questions were basically like, it was like a package sold by this particular textbook distributor, they just went to the bookstore and then like asked them like, yeah, do you have like this package? And then they just bought them for the remainder of the exam, and then like, yep, and then they just distributed between them. Of course, pay to win. It's the key to success. Get your exam, get your class exam score today with your local friendly neighborhood pay to win providers. Yeah, that was of course I told my mom about that because I am a really good mommy boy.
Yeah.
And then my mom just told me, yeah, you just go and study. Don't worry. Fine, mom, fine. I didn't study for the biology in the end. I'm too lazy for that.
Okay.
Yeah. But I don't know. Biology is the one that I am super good at. But I think like even without studying, I can confidently get like at least like 60 or 70%.
Okay.
Meanwhile,
Okay.
meanwhile, chemistry. Yeah, I can. If I study, I think I can manage math and physics. But like chemistry, I just can't. Don't
Oh
know.
yeah, chemistry actually pretty hard. Yeah,
Mm-mm.
I didn't really like chemistry as well.
Mm-mm.
Actually, no, the I didn't like the worst that I like was actually physics.
Mm-mm. Mm.
yeah, it's like because I just didn't understand the logic, anything like that. But yeah, actually, you reminded me how like actually Enoch he was so during his sixth form, which was like the last 2 years of secondary school, and then the course he study is called A level. It's more like a UK thing, but but like it's something like each each school might take the exam at different time or like even different days. Like you will have schools where like they would have taken like the exam paper a bit earlier than the others, and then you would get a lot of leaks after like the earlier students finish their exams, and then apparently like there are also some problems where the exam papers might have got leaked early, like even before anyone has done the exams. Like I don't know how it happens, but it does. And then Enoch is freaking pissed because obviously like not everyone can get this information, but some do, some don't. So basically means there were some people who cheated, and Enoch was one of them who didn't manage to get these early information. And then so like he was just like really pissed because like it means like the one who cheated obviously, well, most of the time they're gonna get higher scores, and that will pull up the grade boundary as well. And yeah, so like things like these do happen. It's like why? What? Like how do you even get an exam paper to be leaked early? It's not a fucking game. How do you even do that?
I know, right? Someone's parents work in the printing company.
I feel like that
Probably.
can be the case. Well, no, it doesn't even have to be the printing company because teachers will get the papers early.
I see.
Actually, I think. No, actually, no. It might depend. It might depends. I think there might. Actually, no. I don't think so. No, but yeah, as you said, probably like some parents are like working in like maybe like making the questions, or printing them. So they might have got the information from there.
Yeah.
Um.
Or the
Ooh,
courier,
ooh.
or the courier found out about that, and then just to make some quick money on the side. Who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that actually yeah, because like I think if we mute this then it's not copyright, but I think we can like actually show this on our podcast because why the heck not?
Oh, which one?
I just sent it to you.
Oh my god. Wait. Let's see how we can show this.
Just like mute it. I think yeah. I think the like the video is fine, but I think we will have to mute it.
Yeah, I think like the best part is I didn't even input my I didn't input my browser
Desktop
to
audio.
browser audio, so it's it's not going to cover it whatsoever. But yeah. My goodness. The Valkyrie clip will never get old.
But I think like we can definitely show this on the podcast right now because like
Oh,
it's
yeah.
actually so funny.
I already did right away. But yeah. My goodness. But yeah, speaking of the cheater getting like advantage, like the funniest thing is like I think like my German teacher when I took my A2 exam, and she kind of knows that no one was able to like learn properly during either she knows that or she was just being naive. But like basically during the exam, he looked slightly away. So of course a lot of people are like getting a little bit sneaky.
Oh god.
Yeah, but in the end, I still get like a pretty high
You
marks.
you're still playing the video behind, right?
Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
and then like like
Okay.
the funny thing is In the end, my score is still pretty high, so it's like, ha. So their cheating doesn't even mean to
Ooh,
anything.
March Theo.
Huh?
But yeah, like on the other hand though, oh my god, the audio is actually distracting me so much. Oh, legendary actor. God, you gotta give it that. I can't remember the name of the actor, but like he's so good in this scene.
Mm-mm.
What the hell? Can you actually understand what they're saying since you've been living in Germany for quite a while?
Oh, I see. I understand now why I need to mute it. I forgot that my audio is still on my speaker. So some
Bro.
of them is getting into my microphone, but yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
Mm.
if that's the case, like the audio should be distorted enough that like,
Mm-mm.
it wouldn't cause
Yeah.
any
I
issues.
mean, like
But
we kept
anyway,
on
yeah.
talking on it anyway.
Yeah, we kept on talking on it as well. Yeah. Um.
Uh,
What was I going to
oh
say?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah. Whether I understand what he's saying. Hmm.
Oh, nice. Uh, but yeah, we also had like obviously English paper,
Mm-mm.
and then like my friends were actually genius
Mm-mm.
because like the way it works is that probably like for a very long period of time,
Mm-mm.
like every year the students would still be studying the same kind of books.
Uh-uh.
Like there's still like a selection of books that you can study. Like the teachers
Mm-mm.
can pick. Like here's like book A, book B, book
Mm-mm.
C, and then it's up to the teacher like which literature
Mm-mm.
they want to teach about.
Mm-mm.
So we were actually learning about an American. I'm trying to remember. Was it a novel or was it actually a script? I actually
Mm-mm.
can't remember. Uh, I'm Of Mice and Men.
Mm-mm.
Uh, I think it was actually a novel.
Mm-mm.
Uh, yeah, no, a novella. Yeah, so like it's like
Mm.
just basically like a really short novel,
So
and then
basically light novel. But
I think it's no, I think it's actually shorter than light novel.
ah.
Uh, yeah. But anyway, so like the way the English questions work is that usually they would, at least during that time, because I know the system has changed now for what we did, which is called GCSE.
Mm-mm.
Um, but like back in the days, the questions they really love to pick a character out and then ask you something about the characters. Like so, like for example, like maybe like they would say, how does how does Candy express the emotion of love,
Mm-mm.
something like that.
Mm-mm.
Like in the novel, like things like that.
Mm-mm.
And then like so we have been doing past papers, and then like my friends were analyzing the past papers, and then they realized,
Mm-mm.
oh wait a second. So for all the questions about of mice and men
Mm-mm.
for the past few years, they actually didn't ask anything about two characters. One is called Candy, and one is called Lim.
Mm-mm.
And then they were guessing that for our year, they would ask about these two characters. They were literally bang on right. Like we had
Mm-mm.
two choices of questions for this novella, and it
Mm-mm.
was exactly about Candy or Slim,
Mm.
either one of them.
Mm.
Like we picked either one of them and answer, and then I was like, "Oh my god, thank you guys, thank you." uh, and I was also very lucky. So like with the English paper, we actually have two separate papers.
Mm-mm.
One is called the English literature paper, which is what I just said.
Mm-mm.
Basically, we will be studying books for like over 2 years, and then like they will ask us about the books.
Mm-mm.
And then the language paper instead is that they will give us a source on the spot,
Mm-mm.
and then we will have to analyze the source
Mm-mm.
and like write analysis of them, and then
Mm-mm.
also a session B, which is just creative writing.
Mm.
Uh, I was really lucky because actually right before the exam,
Mm-mm.
when I was doing exercises,
Mm-mm.
I was actually I think that was literally the day before the exam as well. I was literally writing an exercise on a feminist passage.
Mm-mm.
And then literally the next day, it's not exactly the same text, but it's literally asking about feminism as well. I was like, thank God thank God I did that question. And then I basically just copy and paste whatever I said the day before
Mm-mm.
onto like the actual exam paper, and then like boom, A star, let's go.
Yay! Let's go.
Yeah. So like it was a lot of like very fortunate events,
Mm-mm.
but I didn't get that lucky when it came to exams 2 years later. So
Mm-mm.
after GCSE for us in the UK,
Mm-mm.
at least in my school, we had the choice of going for A level, which again is like a qualification that is basically UK only.
Mm-mm.
Like it's like if you study A level, usually it's because you're expecting yourself to attend the university in the UK,
Mm-mm.
but it's not exactly recognized by a lot of the other universities outside the UK.
Mm-mm.
Or you can take the IB course, which is
Mm-mm.
called, I think I mentioned this before, which is called the International
Baccalaureate.
uh, Baccalaureate. Yeah,
Yeah.
International Baccalaureate, which
Mm-mm.
is success is international. So,
Mm-mm.
so like you take that course, you're expecting yourself to study overseas.
Mm-mm.
Um, I took the IB course
Mm-mm.
just because I want to give myself more choices. Like,
Mm-mm.
okay, like in case I don't like any university in the UK, or
Mm-mm.
like maybe I decide I want to go back to Hong Kong and study in university,
Mm-mm.
then it will be much safer if I take an IB course.
Mm-mm.
And then that's what I did, and it was freaking hard. Uh, I actually failed my maths,
Mm-mm.
like, and like that was literally the only subject that caused me to almost not get into my university,
You.
which is Newcastle. As you
Okay.
might expect it.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. And but like it was two very ridiculous papers. So like
Mm-mm.
for our maths exams, we have three papers.
Mm-mm.
Paper one was without calculator.
Mm-mm.
Paper two was with calculator,
Mm-mm.
and paper three was one of the optional topics
Mm-mm.
that the teacher would have chosen to teach us.
Mm-mm.
So like, so basically, the whole math course, obviously we have all kinds of topics. Some of them without calculator, some of them with calculator, blah blah blah.
Mm-mm.
And then at the end, there's also a course which is like let's say like A, B, and C,
Mm-mm.
and the teacher would pick between A, B, and C and
Mm-mm.
teach that course. And then we basically learn about that, and then take
Mm-mm.
exams about that. Out of all things, our teachers had to choose statistic.
Mm.
Fucking hate that shit. No one likes statistics. Not even my parents, who are math teachers, like
Mm-mm.
statistics.
Yeah. I don't know, man. People,
Now,
people, yeah.
yeah. No, go on. What is it?
No, no, it's weird people called data analysts who like
Y-
statistics, I guess.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
and well, because like literally the whole course of course statistics. So like,
Mm-mm.
why is it not calculus? Why does it have to be statistics? Well, and then literally I had to ask, because I couldn't handle it, and then I had
Mm-mm.
to ask my mom, Mom, can you teach me statistics? And mom was like, I actually don't know too much about that. You had to ask your dad. I was like, well, fuck.
Uh,
But like,
um,
yeah, I mainly fell on that.
mm-mm.
And then because I think like paper, what's ridiculous about paper three as well was that it's one of those kind of papers where it gives you three questions, which doesn't sound a lot until you realize it's the kind where each question goes 1A, 1B, 1C, 1D, 1E.
Ooh.
That means if you cannot do 1A,
Mm-mm.
you're practically gonna fail the next four questions anyway.
Mm-mm.
So if you fail one question, you're basically losing one third of the whole paper points.
Mm-mm.
And it's like that was ridiculous.
Mm-mm.
And then what's even more ridiculous was that like um so like one of the what is it called? One of the topics that we learned was geometric sequences.
Mm-mm.
You know what that is. And then most of the time, well, at least when we were doing past papers, um, they usually put geometric sequences in the paper with calculator.
Okay.
And for some reason, in our year, they decided to put that in the one without calculator.
Yay.
And then we were like, what the actual fuck? But basically, basically, our whole class just like failed that question. It was like we did not expect that. And you know, like it was freaking hard to try to do everything in your head. And then like on the other hand, they put something that wasn't supposed to be in the calculator paper and they put it in there. I can't remember exactly what that was, but yeah, apparently they just decided, hey, you know, I feel like our past few papers are not difficult enough. You know what? Let's switch things around. It's like, just like fuck us up. Oh my god,
Yay.
like that was horrible, man.
My
Yeah.
goodness. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like practically the worst 2 years of my life.
Kind of reminded me of that time because, like, you know, like when I was about to graduate high school, I was kind of trying to get into like Singaporean universities, right? But Singaporean used to be part of the British Commonwealth, so of course I have to take like either the A level or the O level.
Oh,
Basically,
okay.
I have to take the exam, and then like the Singaporean curriculum is like vastly different than the Indonesian one. So I was like, yeah, I think like trigonometry was something that was like kind of like a passing thing for us. I think like we just talked about it for like one lesson, and then we didn't even have an exam for it. I think like even in the final exam, we only have like 1 to 2 questions on trigonometry. And then, of course, when I went into cram school specifically for this O-level exam, I was like, I read like trigonometry wasn't really taught in our school, so it wouldn't be much of a problem, right? I think like when I opened the exam paper, like the first two pages, even not the first 2 questions, the first 2 pages was about trigonometry. And yeah, I never wanted to cry more in that moment. Yeah. That was my moment of weakness.
Yeah, and it didn't help us just for so like basically with this IB course, we had 2 years. After the first year, our math teacher decided to just leave. So we got another math teacher. And what's even worse was that because the previous math teacher was doing such a bad job in explaining everything, the new teacher basically had to use 1 year to teach us the equivalent of 2 years of stuff. So like, you know, it was a goddamn disaster. And so yeah, that happened.
Yay? Question mark.
No, not at all. Okay, so so I was just looking. So like basically O level is before A level. So like you take the O level first and then you take A level. But like interestingly, even if it's originated from the UK, is this actually not in use in UK right now? It's replaced by what I was talking about, IGCSE. Yeah. Yeah. So like O level, the full name is ordinary level.
I see.
And like you take but like you take that basically for like the first 4 years of your secondary school. And then the final 2 years, you would take A level, which is advanced level. Yeah, so that's the difference. Yeah. Yeah.
I see. I understand now. So I'm even below ordinary. I'm just kidding. I think after that I just went to university, and then I think thanks to all those learning probably or also like my school was like the school for Catholics. It's like the school. If you want to have a bright future, you go to the school. Basically, it was supposed to be the strictest, but also like the highest quality of education kind of school. And yeah,
Okay.
I went to university, and then I think the only mathematics class that I didn't get an A on is statistics. Yeah, so fuck
It's
statistics,
always
man.
it's always statistics. Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking man. It's
I
always
know, right?
statistics.
Yeah.
I could never understand statistics. I
Mm.
mean, it's like one of those things that I kind of do, but then I
Mm-mm.
don't.
Mm-mm.
Um, I mean, obviously, it's one of those things like if like in terms of like afterthoughts,
Mm-mm.
like you know, I'm kind of glad
Mm-mm.
that I took statistics,
Mm-mm.
just because like at the end, math is actually philosophy.
Mm-mm.
Let's be honest.
Mm-mm.
And it's like kind of thanks to statistics with like
Mm-mm.
this kind of this because like they use like the sets and then
Mm-mm.
I can't remember the actual terms like what was the set and then something that starts with U uh
Mm-mm.
and
Yeah,
then something that starts
union.
with N, yeah,
Yeah,
union, and then what's the N called?
probably a
uh
negation.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, exactly, yeah. And then like and then I realized it's useful
Mm-mm.
because I was playing Battle Spirits.
Yeah.
So, yeah, as you said, there's like union, there's like what they call it again, negation.
Negation, I think. Yeah, negation is
Y-
basically A negation, B is basically uh how do you do that again? No, basically.
Yeah, so like basically, if it says like A and B,
Mm-mm.
it means like something has to fulfill both A and
No,
B.
no. It's not A negation, and it's a fuck. It's basically a god. Yeah, I mean like I learned mathematics in Indonesian, so I'm not sure what do you call it in
Ah,
English,
okay.
but yeah, it's basically like yeah, this the AUB is basically the one that is it can be
Yeah, A or B,
yeah. It is
and
so
then
that
like
one is
if
the
it's A and B, then let's literally means A
A
and
and
B.
B, yeah. Mm-mm.
Yeah. It's like and then I was playing Battle Space. I was like, fuck, these knowledge is actually coming in
Mm-mm.
handy.
Yeah.
Because obviously you have like because like Battle Space is fucking ridiculous. I mean,
Mm-mm.
even Saga is slowly showing these traits as well. So it's
Mm-mm.
like I think the most common example that I can give
Mm-mm.
is sending costs to trash.
Mm-mm. Okay.
So basically,
Ah, yeah.
it sounds obvious enough, sending costs to trash.
Mm-mm.
So like the way with battle spirits work is that okay, yeah, so you got this overall uh hype of effect called
Mm-mm.
send costs to trash.
Mm-mm.
And then within it, you have this card.
Mm-mm.
So so like that's now this problem that like okay, so if a card triggers
Mm-mm.
when it's being discarded, um, you can also trigger it if it's been discarded by an effect that says when sent to trash.
Mm-mm.
But you cannot do it the other way around. If you're using
Mm-mm.
an effect with the wording discard to dump a card that triggers with the wording sent to trash,
Mm-mm.
you cannot activate that card. It's like and
Yeah.
and 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 it kind of fuck up so many people by
Uh,
playing this game. It's actually so funny.
I
And
know,
then,
right?
and then I was like, "Fuck! I actually understand it. What is this?"
Uh,
And then like, what was just one of the other example? Yes, basically like the keyword inclusion as well. I mean, again, like granted, these are all like various basic statistic stuff, but like nonetheless,
mm-mm.
I feel like if I didn't learn about statistics, I might have like a harder time to understand all of these.
Mm-mm.
Uh, but like for example, you got Athens
Mm-mm.
or like radiant descent, however
Yeah.
you call it,
Yep.
and then so Athens is a keyword itself,
Mm-mm.
but it is also an overall archetype
Mm-mm.
because obviously under Athens you have Grand Athens, you have
Mm-mm.
Contra Athens,
Mm-mm.
etc., etc.
Mm-mm.
And then like again, there's another case. Here's another case that okay,
Mm-mm.
yeah. grand afferents and contra afferents are both afferents,
Mm-mm.
but it's not the other way around.
Exactly.
And yeah, it's like, and then I was like, well, I guess I gotta thanks my math teacher for
Yeah.
teaching statistics.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, you
yeah,
know.
it's
Mm.
yeah. Go on, go on,
And
go on.
then like the actual most practical use of statistics is it discourages you from gambling.
So the what?
It discourages you from gambling. That's like
True. Yeah, if you learn about probability, yeah.
I know, right? Because I don't know if this is true or not, but from what I've heard, it's like basically there are some states in the US that basically like one of their biggest income is from the gambling tax, right? Like in those states. So mainly from lotteries. So in those states, yeah, in those states basically they don't teach statistics and probability, so that you can pay your tax by buying the lottery tickets. Yay! Question mark. God damn it. But yeah. It was the not fun fact, unfortunately, on why you kind of need to teach statistic and why they don't teach statistic.
Yeah, like it kind of goes back to the point where, like, there were a lot. I mean, as you can see, I'm still complaining about it nowadays, but
Mm-hmm.
at the same time, you just kind of feel glad you learn about them, I guess.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, I'm not sure about the other subjects, like, like biology, physics, chemistry. Like maybe there are some things
Mm-mm.
that like you literally have no use nowadays.
Mm-mm.
You know, um, but like I suppose like at the end, what
Mm-mm.
they're trying to teach you are basically just common sense.
Mm-mm.
And like I think like in terms of science, like physics is definitely the best example.
Mm-mm.
Like if they don't teach you, I don't know, about kinetic energy, if they don't
Mm-mm.
teach you about gravity and things like that. Um, Obviously, like when you're learning about it, like your mind would just go, why do I have to remember about terms like
Mm-mm.
kinetic energy and etc. like that? But
Mm-mm.
like the fact is that a lot of people are very short field, to
Mm-mm.
be fair, me included, all of us included when we were actually learning them.
Mm-mm.
That like that we didn't realize that they were teaching us these terms so that it's easier to explain the logic behind whatever they want to teach us next.
Mm-mm.
And that like concerns with, for example, like something as basic as when it push a ball, it
Mm-mm.
keeps rolling, but
Mm-mm.
because there's friction under it, it stops rolling.
Mm-mm.
And like a lot of these things, like obviously is a really basic, and it can be something that like you will understand even like as a baby. It's like, oh, I push a ball and just stops rolling, but obviously you wouldn't know the reason behind it until
Mm-mm.
someone actually tells you.
Mm-mm.
And it's very much this it's like this point is even more important with maths
Mm-mm.
because like as I said, maths is literally philosophy.
Mm-mm.
And so like when they're teaching you about maths, they're actually teaching you how to look at this world.
Mm-mm.
Literally. Uh I mean, like the statistic one is already, I think, is already one of the best examples.
Mm-mm.
Like, there in your life, there will be many times where you had to categorize something.
Mm-mm.
And, the knowledge from statistics would definitely help you there. I
Mm-mm.
mean, granted, you could still gain that knowledge by, doing your everyday chores
Mm-mm.
and things like that. Like, you would naturally learn that. But, like, sometimes it still might not be as smooth
Mm-mm.
as actually being taught in schools.
Mm-mm.
And then, that's kind of, what they want to tell you about. And, you know, now that I'm not in schools, like, I kind of starting to understand, when like the kind of the older people just say, I mean, be glad that you're still in school, like
Mm-mm.
things like that. And like at the end, like it's not just because obviously when you're in school, you kind of, or more like when you were at the time was still being in school, obviously you didn't really have to worry about anything else.
Mm-mm.
but also because I think like when you get older, you would then realize that, to be fair, most of the things that you were taught in school are actually useful for you in your life,
Mm-mm.
whether consciously or subconsciously.
Mm-mm.
So
Yeah.
life lesson of the day, I guess.
Yay. Also, let me add to the argument. Just kidding. But yeah, I have some friends who are like really passionate about their current field of work, right? And then like they are one of the people who are like in the strong opinion that yeah, if a kid like really likes something, then you should just support that kid into like learning just that one thing. So for example, if they
No.
really like art, then you should just let them learn art and don't you don't occupy their minds with mathematics and everything. But I totally disagree.
You,
I
yeah,
totally
yeah,
yeah.
I definitely disagree in that. The
Yeah.
thing is that, like, I think to an extent you must encourage them
Mm-mm.
to learn about something else and not just
Yeah.
focusing on one thing. And the problem, like when people say that, I think the main problem is that usually what parents do,
Mm-mm.
that they're forcing them to learn something else
Mm-mm.
without learning the thing
Mm-mm.
that they're actually passionate about. But
Mm-mm.
I think if you actually encourage them to do all these things
Mm-mm.
together, then like this is absolutely what you should do.
Mm-mm.
So like yeah, like okay, if they like art, that
Mm-mm.
is perfectly fine.
Mm-mm.
Like just like allocate the right
Yeah.
amount of time for them to do the art. Like I mean, even if they like art, then you're not gonna expect them to do art 24/7.
Exactly.
I mean, I love playing Mario Kart games, but I actually can't remember the last time I sleep my decks. Like it's
Uh
like there will be burnouts,
yeah.
and there will be times when
Mm-mm.
they just simply do not they when they're actually interested in doing something else.
Mm-mm.
That's like kind of the nature of humans.
Yeah.
Um, and so like
Also
yeah,
yeah.
you should like
Mm.
if you discover that your child lost one thing, you
Mm-mm.
have to encourage them to do something else. Just like
Yeah.
under the condition that you're not stopping them
Mm-mm.
from doing what they currently love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is the best way. You encourage them to go into that route, but also like yeah, still remind them, yeah, this you try to look into these other avenues. It might help you in down every somewhere down the line. If anything, it will help them to kind of like grow some more appreciation about, oh yeah, so I might not focus on this, but because I know this, I know that people who are passionate about uh this might be why they are so passionate about this, and how their passion is actually like affecting my quality of life probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So like
Mm-mm.
it does, as I said, make them more understanding
Mm-mm.
of like the other people with different passions.
Mm-mm.
And then I think like sometimes you would just never know.
Mm-mm.
Like there are things that you learned and at that moment you feel it's useless.
Mm-mm.
But like again, sometimes it would just subconsciously be helping you in the background.
Mm-mm.
Like, I used to play the piano. I don't right now.
Mm-mm.
I mean, I kind of wish I still do, to be fair. But like, um, I mean, to be fair, I can. I should
Mm-mm.
buy a keyboard sometime soon.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, but like my point is being, because I did learn about piano, and
Mm.
that also indirectly means, or to be fair, directly means that I learned my music theories,
Mm-mm.
and that helps me to, at the very least, appreciate music even more.
Mm-mm.
When I listen to songs, I can realize
Mm-mm.
why these songs are amazing.
Mm-mm.
You know, and that's already one thing that's helping you. I mean, it's helping you, isn't it? Like it
Mm-mm.
helping you to enjoy something more. You know, and let's be honest, that's what life is about, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um, but like also personally for me, uh, since like now I'm mainly into writing, that also means I'm trying to do lots of different kinds of writing, and that includes writing lyrics.
Mm-mm.
So like, knowing my music theory, it kind of helps, even with just a little bit. And obviously, I'm not saying it as a professional because I definitely not. But like, knowing music theory still helps me out a bit when I'm actually trying to write some lyrics matching to some songs.
Mm-mm.
You know, so like, and that it's like there are just a lot of things where like you learned it then you thought it's useless, but like sometimes even like in some very niche situations,
Mm-mm.
you might be able to find it helpful.
Yeah.
So I think at the end, if you're interested in something,
Mm-mm.
like especially when you have the power to to try all these things, rather because you're an adult and you have the money and time to do so, or like you're a child and like you're given the freedom to do so.
Mm-mm.
Um, like I would say don't really mind if like that particular thing is useful or useless later on.
Mm-mm.
If you're interested, just go for it. I
Mm-mm.
mean, I think at the basis, life is about
Experience.
uh experience
Mm-mm.
and doing the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
So if you're even refusing to do the things you want to do, what's the point?
Mm-mm. True.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, you can't have the excuse of like, oh, I
Mm-mm.
got work to do, And to
Yeah.
be fair, that should be my excuse right now since I need to go for a job.
Yeah. But
But like, I think if you have the time,
mm-mm.
blah blah blah, and then like, just like don't let your mindset off. Oh my god, I have more important things to do,
Mm-mm.
and then just like let it stop you. Because I think also a lot of the times, even if you do have important things to do, uh, it does not mean it does not mean that you have to allocate all your time to that one important thing.
Mm-mm.
I think a lot of times people are also overestimating the amount of time to be consumed by you focusing on something that's so-called important.
Mm-mm.
You can very much fit in something else
Mm-mm.
while still occupying on that something important.
True.
Like I think actually, in fact,
Mm-mm.
if you try to fit in
Mm-mm.
everything you want to do and everything that you need to do and kind of pull out the timetable,
Mm-mm.
most of the time you will realize, wow, I can actually do all these stuff.
Mm-mm.
But like a lot of the time it's exactly because you didn't have a timetable, you didn't have a schedule, that you
Mm-mm.
just goes, oh yeah, I have plenty of time, and then you start
Mm-mm.
procrastinating and stuff like that. But
Mm-mm.
like, once you actually give yourself a schedule and you goes like, okay, yep, I have to finish this before this time and I'll do something else.
Mm-mm.
That actually helps you. Like that
True.
will actually help you to do a lot more things. I'm saying this with experience.
Hmm. Nice. But yeah, also like that one thing that I would really like to point out is like knowing science would help you be a really good skeptic of science. With that,
Oh yeah,
and
true,
yeah,
definitely, yeah.
yeah, because like there's this one level of yeah, I don't believe science because I don't understand it, and then like I think I understand science and I understand it, and then there's the next level of which okay, I understand what science is, so I will then just believe whatever I see. I would look into it as a as a person of science, and yeah, I will
Bas-
decide myself
That's
whether it's true
yeah,
or not. Mm.
yeah, that's a very good point. Basically encourages independent thinking.
Yeah.
It's like it's exactly because you've
Mm-mm.
learned about science that you have the confidence to
Mm-mm.
think for yourself to decide whether something is right or wrong.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And I suppose it's like getting more and more important, especially during these days of internet,
Exactly.
where people can literally say whatever they want.
Exactly.
And like sometimes like even if it's just like under like a casual situation, like you're
Mm-mm.
scrolling through Facebook or like you're in a conversation with someone at the bar,
Mm-mm.
um, you kind of had to be constantly identifying
Mm-mm.
whether what you receive is true or not.
Yes.
So yeah,
Indeed.
as I said, at the end, everything school is trying to teach you is basically common sense.
Yes.
Like if you actually manage to learn them, like even subconsciously, they will help you out to get you through life.
Mm-mm.
Because like by like just got a disclaimer. Obviously, I'm not justifying for some schools to be like, just like literally hammering you with homework every day,
Oh no.
with like all the exams all the time. Obviously not. But I mean like just like schools in general, like that's
Mm-mm.
the point of schools is that they drill you in
Mm-mm.
all this knowledge for years and years
Mm-mm.
so that you would naturally make them into
Mm-mm.
quote unquote common sense.
Yes. That is
And that helps you to get through life, obviously.
exactly. Because knowing about chemistry told me that not every chemical is bad because every single thing in this world is a chemical. But learning biology told me that let me know that sugar free doesn't mean sugar free. God damn it.
Yeah, I think
God
sugar
damn it
free
with
just
sugar.
means like not having like a particular chemical, isn't it?
Yeah, it's so basically
Yeah.
when they say it's sugar free, it means they don't have glucose.
Yeah, yeah.
They will then use like other sweetener chemical basically. That is basically like
Mm.
have the similar effect to glucose, but of course the taste is different. That is why the taste is always off. And they will also be stored in your body, but they will not be stored. They will not be processed the way glucose is processed. That is why
Yeah.
calorie is basically a measure of how fast your body, how fast a glucose can be burned, basically. So of course, because these chemicals are in glucose, they will then fit into the definition of a calorie. So that is why they can claim that these stuffs are like either low or zero calorie.
It's
Yeah.
yeah, that's actually the first time I heard about it. Like I mean obviously I know like there's some connotations, but I didn't actually think about it deeply.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I think I just read it like randomly one day. But then you can kind of like tell then like, oh yeah, this kind of makes sense. This doesn't make sense. Cause like, yeah, sometimes the thing with science is like people assume that if the research was done on a thing, that means it is one and done. Although like when once you know like when you go to university, like especially when you get a master's degree, I think like the only practical knowledge that you get is basically you know how research works. So research is basically you kind of propose it and then you bring it to the scientific forum, and then this becomes like some sort of record for that part of the science. But of course, then for it to be unrefutable, quote unquote, somebody has to be able to replicate what you have written and then prove that whether it is working or not. So we have more data. So actually, the purpose of the bachelor's degree is to do that, to the bachelor thesis to do that. So you basically take someone else's theory, and then you try to replicate it, and then
Mm.
you basically then add to the data whether the theory of this guy is correct or not. And then
That's interesting, yeah.
yeah, and then in the process of doing so, uh then you basically
Learn
kind of like
more as
learn how
well.
to write a scientific document, right? How to
Yeah.
yeah, and then you get into the master's degree, and then you started to piece together, like you take other people's research, and then you start to do your own research, and then you go to PhD where you start your own theory, basically. Yeah. So yeah, basically getting into the university is if you want to further science, actually. But then again, if you are in Europe and your university is covered by covered by tax body, I guess why not? If you if it fits if it fits the career that you are trying to pursue, just get it. At the very least, you will have more chance to meet other people who will be going to your field, and the networking itself will be worth it. And then, like the one thing that people don't understand is that the point of going to the university is not really getting the lessons from the classes. It is to get access to the knowledge, because like university has their own library. They have membership to certain journals and scientific publications, so that you don't have to shell your own money to get access to this knowledges. And then you have like professors who are actually like doing the research. If you are really interested, you might be able to learn more about that field. But yeah, even the world of academics is not as rosy and as idealistic as
No,
we might have thought.
definitely not.
Yeah,
Definitely not. I mean, I'm literally the child of two teachers.
Yep.
Where one teacher, one professor.
Yep.
So actually, he's a doctor now. My dad is a doctor now.
Whoa.
Ooh,
Nice.
doctor in education as well. So
Whoa.
yeah. So like, yeah, I can understand
Mm-mm.
all of these things.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then like, obviously, don't forget. I think I don't know if this applies to all universities. Probably
Mm-mm.
not. But like some universities, after you graduated, after you become a alumni,
Mm-mm.
alumni, I actually don't
Yeah,
know how to
alumni.
pronounce that word.
Alumni.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
Alumni, yeah. You will still get access to the libraries they have.
Mm-mm.
I mean, granted, you still have to pay like a little bit of money every year.
Mm-mm.
But like, for example, from my university, Newcastle University,
Mm-mm.
I'm only paying £20 a year,
Mm-mm.
and I will have access to the whole library.
Nice.
So I would say that's a pretty good deal, not gonna lie.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. So I mean, I really need to get to the library soon because
Mm-mm.
I've been trying to write. I've been trying to make another video for like
Mm-mm.
the facts and trivia Battle Space Saga,
Mm-mm.
and like there were just like few points that I cannot seem to get solid evidence on
Mm-mm.
the internet.
Mm.
So like well, one of them is what do you call it? Ah, right. Do you remember the card Salia?
Mm? Which Alia?
Yeah, when we summon it from hand,
Mm-mm.
discard a card from the deck top. If it's not a spirit card, exhaust it.
Oh, yeah. My waifu. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was actually looking online because like I was thinking about
Mm-mm.
whether Asalia
Mm-mm.
has any connotation to her design, the
Mm-mm.
name Asalia.
Mm-mm.
And then like I realized there were a lot of articles saying that Asalia, like the flower,
Mm-mm.
actually relates to death.
Mm-mm.
And then like, but like the funniest thing is like this is one thing why there's one reason why you never use Wikipedia for your
Mm-mm.
sources. I go
Exactly.
to Wikipedia and then like I realize like it has that statement like Asalia can represent death,
Mm-mm.
and then it has a source attached to it.
Mm-mm.
So I went down to the source and
Mm-mm.
I actually can't remember what happened. Let me actually look it up right now.
Okay.
Blah, blah.
But yeah, generally what
Uh,
you do is if you wanted to use Wikipedia for your assignments, is you go look for the reference site of the site and reference section, yeah. And then you basically look into their references directly. That will be more accurate because then you wouldn't lose the nuance
y-
that were lost when they were summarizing for the article, basically.
yeah. No, okay, here's the funny part.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so on Wikipedia, it has a line. Azaleas and rhododendrons were once so infamous for their toxicity
Mm-mm.
that to receive a bouquet of their flowers in a black phase
Mm-mm.
was a well-known death threat.
Mm-mm.
And here's a source which goes to one of the links called Natural Selections, like a page called Natural Selections.
Mm-mm.
And then the funniest part is that like on this page, um, it only has one line about it and it says to receive a bouquet of azaleas and rhododendron in a black vase is a bad omen,
Mm-mm.
signifying a death threat.
Mm-mm.
That's it. It
Mm-mm.
actually didn't say anything
Mm.
about where this information came from.
Mm-mm.
So, like, even if Wikipedia has that source, remember to check the source itself, because like, even then,
Mm.
they might not be reliable.
Exactly.
Uh, and then, like, the best part was that, okay, so if this article mentions it, surely, like, there are some other articles that also mentioned it.
Mm-mm.
Nope. At least for the ones I find, all of them leads me back to Wikipedia.
Hmm.
Like, people are actually using Wikipedia as a source.
Yes.
Like, they will literally say, according to Wikipedia, Salia actually represents death threat. And then, like, I was like, oh my god. So, like, that's like something that I will actually have to look in the library.
Mm-mm.
Probably like looking through like flower language or something like
Mm-mm.
that. And like the other one that actually had to research
Mm-mm.
is that
Mm-mm.
the Arcana Jack Hector,
Yep.
which is like a really random other lander card.
Mm-mm.
And then I found it really interesting because like obviously Arcana Jack means like it's supposed to represent the J
Mm-mm.
card in Card of Suits in playing suits. And then I was curious in why it gives the name Hector.
Mm-mm.
And then so I went I went to Wikipedia first because obviously that's the easiest way to find the information, even if they may be wrong. At least you can find the source.
Mm-mm.
Um, and then like it literally has a line that says that there are some historical connotations that's like um, a person on a kind jack uh, is actually Hector, like the guy from the Bible, I believe. Uh, no, not the Bible. Uh, okay, I maybe the Bible has mentioned this, but I can't
Mm-mm.
remember. But Hector, they were basically referring to the guy, the Trojan prince in Greek
Mm-mm.
mythology. And then
Mm.
again, trying to look for a source for that. I didn't
Mm-mm.
find anything. I think like even Wikipedia itself didn't
Mm-mm.
actually have the source. So like yeah, like some I couldn't find anything about it. So that's another thing that I will have to look in the library.
Mm-mm.
Uh
Nice.
just gonna make good use of my 20 pounds.
You know what? If I were to spend 20 euro to get the library membership, I was already planning to get it in the Düsseldorf State Library, not in Duisburg. You know why?
Why?
Because they in the German State Library, you can also rent apparently like video games is also considered a library worthy collection.
So you're
And
just gonna rent video games there.
yes, I'm the Dusseldorf State Library has used to have a copy of the Xenoblade Definitive Edition. I never saw it ever again, but yeah, I guess I can as a copium. Once I found it, I'll just go to the lobby and then like, yeah, ma'am, I want to make a membership and I wanted to rent this now.
Oh, that'll be so
Uh,
interesting. Yeah, actually, fortunately for us, the Newcastle City Library, which is
mm-mm,
like the public library, basically,
mm-mm.
the membership is actually completely free. You just have to make an account.
Nice.
Yeah. So like, I literally had two libraries to have access to, which is like actually amazing. Uh, now I literally would have gone there a lot more often.
Mm-mm.
Um, if I can try to make myself focus on like doing more of these kinds of videos, but obviously I cannot just focus on these kind of videos.
Hmm.
So like, as much as I just want to sit in the library and read, I cannot do that most of the time.
Yeah. I guess you can kind of like schedule it as your relaxation slash research time. Like,
Yeah, true.
yeah. So basically
Yeah,
during this time.
it's just like oh, I don't want to go out.
Yeah, I think that's the bigger problem. I will like,
Yeah, I don't want to go out and okay, I have books at home. I might as
uh,
well finish them first, like that kind of thing.
yeah, I know, right? I will
Well,
like
yeah,
the Duisburg State
yeah.
Library is like literally like 15 minutes away from my home. Like why, like yeah. But then again, I still choose to go to Düsseldorf
Yeah,
because it's much more convenient.
yeah. And then like the
Yeah.
other problem is that when I actually go out, I usually come back home really late.
Yeah,
Um,
same. Mm-mm.
like at the university library actually open 24/7.
Mm.
Yeah, but the problem is that whenever I'm done
Mm-mm.
with whatever I'm doing, usually the Pokemon locals, it's gonna be like 9 p.m. earliest.
Oof.
And knowing Europe,
Mm-mm.
you know that ain't gonna be any restaurants open.
Yep.
So like I could have maybe
Uh-uh.
eaten somewhere and then just like drill myself in the library until like 2 a.m. or something like that.
Uh-uh.
I can definitely do that. But like the fact is I have no food.
Uh-uh.
And if I need food, I need to go back home and cook, which like takes like more than half an hour to cook and then more than half an hour to eat. So like that's around 2 hours. And then,
No.
it's getting late. And
No.
so I was like, no, I don't want to go out now. I need to take a shower and go to sleep.
Exactly. But
Yeah,
yeah.
but now that I think about it, maybe possibly I can do it the way that maybe like every Wednesday the Pokemon locals, I'll just eat at McDonald's and I'll go to the library. Maybe.
Yeah. Nice. But yeah.
Yeah.
If you want more nice stuff, you can always send us your questions, comments, or what was it again? Question, comments. what was the last one?
Send an email to
Yeah, you can send your questions, comments, messages to our email at therefreshsteppodcast@gmail.com. Or if you're listening to this on YouTube, you can also feel free to comment below. So yeah, I guess that has been everything that we can share for this week. As you can see, my intelligence is dropping as my sore throat is taking over. So I guess that has been everything that we can share for this week, and we hope that you guys have a nice week going forward, and we'll see you all in the next turn. Bye bye.
bye.